Hey everyone, this is Kristen from KristenCoaching.com. Today in this video, we are going to talk about my advice for how to deal with a complicated relationship. I think complicated relationships these days are very trendy, where it's a social media status, having a complicated relationship, or a lot of times it's a way to kind of sum up a situation with our friends, like, oh, my relationship's complicated, and it's kind of a lighthearted thing to do. It's a very easy thing to kind of label and put out there. So we're going to explore really, what to do if you are in a complicated relationship and what that means for you and, how to move forward and get your relationship uncomplicated, because I think that's the key. And before we begin, please feel free to subscribe to my YouTube page if you haven't already, because you'll get notifications every time I send out a new relationship tip video. So make sure that you do that. So basically, as I said, complicated relationships are trendy these days. They're really common. I don't think we used to see it as much before Facebook kind of had that as a label and a status. And I think basically when you are in a complicated relationship, that usually means that one person in the relationship is wanting more than what they're getting now. It usually has to do with kind of one person holding back and not giving the other what they need out of the relationship and what they want fully. And although it can seem like kind of a funny thing to just say or an easy thing to say, oh, my relationship is complicated, long story, right? But in reality, I think complicated relationships actually cause a lot of pain for people and a lot of heartache. And because it just brings up a lot of uncertainty and doubt of where you guys are at. And there's a lot of boundaries that are really unclear. And it can just be really, really hard. So I wanted to validate that for you and acknowledge that for you. Because it's not an easy situation to be in if you are in a complicated relationship. And most likely, if you're watching this video, it's because you might not truly deep down want to be in that relationship. So I'm going to talk about how to uncomplicate it, okay? So there is my complicated relationship advice that's going to be coming up. And I also want to preface my advice with just saying it is just my opinion. I think everybody has a different opinion of being in a complicated relationship and what that means for them and if they're happy or not in it. This is just with my experience being a relationship coach and my clients who have come up to me saying that their relationship just feels really complex and complicated and it's not necessarily what makes them happy. And I've noticed that throughout the years. So I really wanted to address this issue because you're not alone in having this type of experience, or if you know someone who's not alone. It's common. And I think there are ways to make sure that you can uncomplicate things and get your needs met. So again, if you are in this type of a relationship, it usually is because you're not getting 100% what you want out of it for whatever reason. And we want to be happy. I mean, ultimately, we want to have that type of relationship that feels fulfilling and feels satisfying and feels just full and happy and healthy even. And I think if we're in complicated relationships, a lot of times the unhealthy factor kind of seeps into that. Because again, boundaries are violated. Things are not happening the way you want them to. You're not able to communicate maybe the way you want to with your significant other. And that can cause, again, a lot of just anxiety and stress and just feeling this sense of unfulfillment. And I know you don't want that for yourself. So what can you do? Well, you can either continue down this road and continue to be in this type of a relationship. In my experience being a relationship coach, I have seen time and time again couples stay in this complicated relationship status for a long time, because both people do not address the issue with one another. A lot of times people can just become complacent in a relationship and they're like, well, I'm getting some needs being met, so I'm happy with that. I don't want to rock the boat. I don't want to ruin it. I don't want to be alone ultimately. I don't want to destroy this relationship because there is some good in there. That is so rampant amongst complicated relationship situations and couples. And so, yes, you can choose not to do something. You can absolutely continue down the road and do what you do. And I guarantee you that it's going to stay complicated for a long, 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 long time, probably indefinitely. You have to ask yourself at the end of the day, am I truly happy? Am I getting my needs met? Is this a relationship that I want to be in long term? Do I feel fulfilled? Do I feel happy? If those answers are no, if even one answer is no, then a way to uncomplicate things is to have a talk with your significant other, to have a talk with the person that you're in the complicated relationship with, and tell your other half, be authentic and let them know, hey, I'm not getting 100% of what I need out of this, and it's bothering me. I'm having a hard time, and I want to change it. That can be really hard. It takes bravery. It takes a lot of self-awareness and self-reflection, and just being able to, and vulnerability, to be able to put yourself out there. It's really, really hard. And yes, you are risking having it shatter, and you are risking having it not be there after you have this conversation. Again, you want to ask yourself though, do I want to be happy ultimately, or do I just want to kind of settle for less than? And that's a decision that you have to make on your own. I can't make that for you. I just know that in order to kind of get out of this kind of muck that you're in and this intertwined system, is to address it and to talk about it. And who knows, maybe your other half wants to talk about it as well, maybe not, but regardless, it puts your needs in the forefront. It puts your needs first, and that's what's most important. You want to make sure that your needs are getting met in your relationship, because you are worth it and you are important. And if the person that you're with cannot see that or respect that or honor that, then maybe it's not a relationship that you want to be in long term. So having that dialogue can be really, really crucial, because it can get you out of the cycle or the relationship status that you're in now and put you somewhere else. Yes, you have a risk of having it not work out, or you have a risk of having it actually work out and having some commitment and having that complicated factors go away to make it uncomplicated. We have to communicate. We have to let our other halves know what we need out of a relationship. And if you are scared to do that, then that's a sign and a red flag that it's not working for you right now. So I just wanted to shed light into this topic, because again, it's really important that you're happy and that you are getting your needs met. So my suggestion is to bring it up and have a talk with your other half about it and see where it goes. You can do it. Please feel free to ask any questions below or comments. I'll be happy to answer them. And I'll see you guys next time for my next relationship tip video. Take care.